Justin Roberts, gone from WWE, his contract not renewed. The announcement came after Raw Monday night. That's when he was told that he was not being renewed and he was free to go home. So all of this happened quite suddenly. WWE put an announcement up on their website that said WWE has chosen not to exercise its option to renew ring announcer Justin Roberts' contract. Effective immediately, he is released. WWE wishes him the best in all of his future endeavors, of course, as they always do. So that was really shocking. That was out of left field. I don't think anybody was expecting that. He had been with the company for, I think, over 12 years. He had really, in many ways, become the voice of WWE in terms of ring announcers. I mean, ever since the Fink, we've had Lillian Garcia, Tony Chimmel from time to time will still do ring announcing. And of late, they've been grooming JoJo down at NXT. I know Eden, Cody Rhodes' wife, Brandy is her real name. She's been doing a lot of ring announcing. And from what I can tell, she may be the new Raw ring announcer. It may be Eden. I guess we'll find out on Raw this week if that's official or not. But yeah, just very surprising that they would let him go. And I have to talk about this because JBL took to his blog, since he's already blocked everybody on Twitter. He took to his blog on Facebook to shoot down these reports that have been circulating that Justin Roberts was caught fighting with Michael Cole during Raw or between the commercial breaks on Raw Monday night, and that may have led to his dismissal. I mean, look, who knows what may or may not have happened. You know, in his blog, JBL says, well, it's impossible for anything like that to have happened because Michael Cole is constantly doing commentary, and we go to the app, and the action continues, and that's true, although the action does not continue during commercial breaks between matches. So when a match ends, and they're previewing the next match coming up, and they go to commercial, they're not still doing commentary on the app. So anything's possible. You know, one guy looks over at the other guy, and, words are exchanged. There are people who were there Monday night at Raw who claim something happened between the two. JBL denies it. Unless Cole comes out or Roberts comes out and denies it, we won't know for sure. But JBL made a statement in his blog that just made me laugh. He wishes Cole a happy birthday. And by the way, happy birthday, Michael Cole. Apparently it was just his birthday. And then JBL says that, in his opinion, Michael Cole is the greatest play-by-play guy that WWE has ever had. Ever. In its history. He says he's worked with Cole since he started JBL as an announcer, and he's never seen anybody better. And that's true. Cole's the only one that JBL has worked with since he started. I don't think JBL ever got to work with JR unless it was briefly, one of those gigantic 4 or 5 guy boots during a Royal Rumble. I don't think the two ever worked together. Cole is all he's known. Cole probably helped him a lot and helped train him, and so sure, that's probably accurate. He's the best I've ever seen because he's the only person you've really worked with. He has no one else to compare him to, really. He said all the stuff that Cole does with the plugs for social media, the network, the app, he's great at it. Now, here's the deal. It's the guy's opinion, just like he said. He's entitled to it. And Cole probably is his best friend, okay? I know the two are good friends. They're buddies. They work together. They do a radio show together that's now going into national syndication. He's obviously going to be a bit biased. And I don't think Michael Cole is a bad announcer. I think buried beneath all the plugs and all the snorting and the stupid banter back and forth and the fake laughter that we have to sit through on Monday nights, there's a good announcer in there. I thought Cole was good going back to the early SmackDown days when it was him and Taz. Cole and Taz were a very strong announce team for a number of years. And even in more recent years, when they're actually focused on what's going on in the ring, if there's a big pay-per-view main event, John Cena versus CM Punk, you go back to their match at Money in the Bank 2011, which is one of my favorite matches in the last, 5 or 10 years. Part of what made that match good was Cole. Cole was on his A-game that night. He was actually a very good announcer. So we see bits and pieces of it. We don't get to see a lot of it because of all the shit they have him do, but he is a good announcer. I've said it before on this show. I don't envy the job that he has every week, having to plug $9.99 and hashtag this and hashtag that. But somebody ought to let JBL know that just because somebody can juggle hashtags and app plugs, that does not make them the greatest of all time. I just listened to Steve Austin's call of his WrestleMania 17 match with The Rock on his podcast. And by the way, it's so obvious the deal he struck with WWE is for him to plug the network on his show. in exchange, they plug his podcast. But I just listened to his play-by-play of that entire match, and you hear JR's call, really of the whole thing, but especially the finish. And I had just read JBL's blog the day before, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like night and day. Yes, JR could be over the top with some of his calls. He would practically orgasm on the air during some of Austin's matches. But the key for me is that he made matches feel important. He made them feel like they mattered. Like there was really something on the line, like nobody else ever has. If you think his WWE calls were hokey, hop on the network and watch any of the old NWA shows that he did back when he was younger. It was the same thing. Some people say Gordon Solie was the best. Some people say JR was the best. You can't go wrong with either one of those guys. It's a generational thing. So you'll have people who watch now who one day will think Michael Cole is the best. And those people would be wrong. He was the best with what he was given at the time. Those other guys would excel in any era. That's the biggest difference. They're timeless. Not that I think either one of them, like Gordon Solie or Jim Ross, would be very good when it comes to plugging tweets. They may not even be as good as Michael Cole. They'd be okay. They would do it. But when you come down to brass tacks here, the actual matches, the storytelling, they'd be just as good in 2014 as they were in 1996 or 1986. And that's the difference. Michael Cole is really good. Really good. He can be. But he's not the best that WWE has ever had. I mean, that's a ridiculous statement to make. It's one thing to say, I think this guy's great, I think he's one of the best. To say that he's the best the company has ever had is just so absurd. And frankly, they would be better off having somebody with that same emotion calling their matches now. Maybe people would actually care about the current product.